Hey guys, Dark Prometheus here, back with some more of our road to the league with Wrexham. We won a couple trophies this season. I'm hyped. We're going to the end of season review. We'll go over what I want to do with the roster, and then from there, we'll start the first part of the transfer special. So we did make a couple signings already. We'll kind of go through those. Then we'll go through my thought process, and we'll kind of go through how everything is going to go. So this might be a little like back and forth because we're going to be talking about certain players that I see, certain players that I make a bid for, and we'll kind of see how that goes. So without further ado, let's get right in to this one. It is our end of season review for the 2034-2035 season. So we won the Europa. Wow, the Europa. Yes, words are hard. The Europa Conference League final against Hertha Berlin with just a crazy shootout. We ended up winning that. And in the Carabao Cup, we won that final. So let's look at our new arrivals and what we had this season. And I will say we spent some big money. All right. We spent some big money in the two big players that we spent money on. I know which is right here, but 40 goals apiece this season. Paul Kinlan coming over from Leeds, both of them from Leeds, might I add. So Paul Kinlan from Leeds is our signing of the season. 47 appearances, 40 goals, 20 assists, an average rating of 7.78. He is our signing of the season. At 28 years old, that was an insane one. We then signed Joe Bell. The club doesn't like it, but we brought him in as a poacher. We did exchange a player in this one. Don't remember who the player was off the top of my head. Let's take a look at that really fast. The instant I see him, I'll be like, yep, that's the one. And it was Seljuk Okul was the one that we went ahead and put over to Leeds for this one. And well, 45 goals in 52 appearances in 19 assists, 6.8 or 7.68 rating. He was the Golden Boot winner for the Europa Conference League. Demanded stellar. It was amazing. Ezekiel Barrios, we brought in from Parthenope on a loan here. They don't like how the salary was, but 7.06. He played pretty well for us. Now, there is a transfer clause that we could pay for that. A 14.25. We're not going to exercise it. I mean, he's a good defender, but we brought in a better defender on a free, and I think he's going to be better than him. Shane Ritchie from Liverpool. This one was from a free. We brought him in, and I think this was a good fee. Vanderson, we brought him on a free as well. We're going to look to move him on, so we're going to make a little money off him coming in from Newcastle on a free. Kolashevsky, 5 million, not crazy. A lot of big money with his actual wages, but at the end of the day, did come in 41 appearances, 9 out of substitution, did have 8 assists, did play a bit on the wing and kind of fill that gap. Mauro Sergio from SPO for 13.25, did have 6 appearances, 20 as a substitute, 1 goal, 2 assists. He's not ready to take over the reins out there, but he's been a good piece. Declan knows we did bring him on loan. We just needed someone that could come in that was of English nationality. We needed him for registration. He filled that goal, filled that gap. We will not be paying $47 million for him. He did not reach the threshold of 30 games. Matthias Sasamarek here. I thought this was a good buy. He came in and played 1 game for us. Not sure what that game was. I think it was a Carabao Cup game because Yulson did get banged up for one of them, but he went ahead and played 1 game. I think next season we're going to be using him in the Carabao Cup for that. And we're going to be using him probably in the FA Cup as well because we need to get him some playing time because there's going to be a lot of games. I mean, a lot of games when it comes to him and Yulson. So, yeah, we want to kind of change that. Our transfers out. I mean, Lavro Zidane went over to Lazio for 34 million. That was a good one. Aldo Rodriguez for 30 million to Real Madrid. Pavel went to FC Metz for 9 million. Celtic Okol was in that exchange. I think that was a good ploy for the most part there. He went on loan subsequently to Sevilla from Leeds. Patrick Gullenbach, Galatasaray for 5.5. Juan Jorge Martinez goes to Aston Villa for 8 million. Brain Valente goes to PAOK in Greece for 20 million. Christian Agulo to Lyon for 8.75. And then a couple of youngsters that we sent out. Sean Connor goes out for 100K. Jamie Rollins went on loan, maybe? I thought we did sell Jamie Rollins for an actual fee. Yeah, 6.5 going over to Dortmund. Isaac Jones to Crystal Palace. I think we also sold him for some money, but because he's on loan to Grimsby, we sold him for 800K. I mean, that was a good one. He's one of our youngsters. Callum Doyle to Luton for 10.25. Darren Simmons goes to Crystal Palace. And we actually gave them 400K. And, I mean, from there, it was just one of our youngsters that has come through the team, the U team, and we cashed in some money there for him. Chris McCarthy, another one that came through our youth league, goes to Huddersfield for 20K. Dennis Demoski goes to Toulouse FC, where there's also a clause that can give us another like 2.5. Probably next year we'll have that. So we'll get about 2.5 million from that. Hector Horneros, 5 million to Schalke. Ollie Roberts, 87K to TNS. Matteo Giovanelli goes to Brentford, 14 million. And then Diego Martin for 550 and to Sunderland, and Christopher Thomas over to Wolves. 400K. We're selling some players. We're loaning some players. Our biggest loan bit was Jamie Modlin to Viego to 1.8, and Aldo Masal, who played absolute lights out for Leverkusen, 1.4. We might be able to actually sell him in the future. He played actually great for them. We might see that in the future. Also, Jamie Matamala to FC Lorient for 1.5. I didn't notice that. Looking at season results. So in the Premier League, we finished 5th. Now, I know it says Europa League here. We get the Europa League because we won the Conference League, a final. We do automatically have that, which is, I think, why Chelsea pulls this. I don't think they were in the FA Cup. I could be wrong. No, they won the FA Cup final, so they get it regardless. That's why they get Europa League. Aston Villa, who finished in 6th, gets Europa Conference League. I think if we take the Champions League, that kind of goes down to Aston Villa getting the Europa League, and Brighton gets the Europa Conference League at that, because 5th is the Europa League spot. Yeah, so Brighton might actually get some. Tottenham's looking out, but also Arsenal finishing at 55 points. Arsenal with a disappointing season. We had good attendance. Paul Kinlan with 20 goals. The board likes it because we had a top 5 finish and we qualified for the Europa League. Europa Conference League here. We won it all. We got the trophy. Our path was a little bit difficult towards the end, but we did play well. Porto was a bit of a crunch, but there was no real issue really in that second game. I thought we pretty much had it in hand when we went to Portugal, and just time ran up for Porto. And Hertha Berlin, you saw that crazy game last episode. Joe Belg is the top goal scorer for us and top goal scorer in the league. FA Cup, another third round bounce out. We got to be more competitive in the FA Cup. In the Carabao Cup, we won this. We went through Middlesbrough easily. Brighton, Newcastle was at 1-1. We won that, I think, in penalty kicks. Aston Villa beat them 3-2. Then Burnley, an easy leg there. And then Norwich was a 3-1 win. Pretty easy. Paul Kinlan has the most goals for us. And I think he also had the most goals in the Carabao Cup. Moments, biggest win was 13-0 against Hanvar Boltslag. I mean, that one was an absolute slacking. A match to remember, we beat West Ham at 7-0 on the 12th, or actually on the 3rd of December. That was an insane game. And then our other one, our goal of the season, is in a 6-3 win. Arda gets this one. This one's going to be the one in the 70th minute. Going a free kick from the edge. And we'll have to take a look at this one. This is our goal of the season. Need to watch the goals. We also need to change it to where we're not behind the goals and we're on the TV. Also the one that was in the 70th minute, which will likely be this one here. No, I think it's this one here. Off a free kick, right? Yeah. Just after a yellow card was shown to Rob Jones, he gets booked, and now here's Arda lining up a shot. I think this one goes right over the heads or through a gap there. And it's in to the back of the net. So that is our goal of the season. For reputation, hasn't really changed, but it is going up a little slowly because we did win that one there in the Europa Conference League. We're still continental with that. No new sponsorships to talk about. Sponsorship money did go up about $1 million. Not as much broadcast revenue because this kind of bounces up and down. Corporate hospitality went up about $1 million, which is nice. Competition prize money about the same from last year. And match day and commercial retail went up about $800K in that. Most jerseys sold: Bell, Kinlan, Cepeda, Rafael Leao, and Kulishevsky. We're getting up there in jerseys sold, slowly but surely. Non-domestic sales amounting to 3.7 million, and then domestic is about 2 million, about 2.2 or so. Nothing crazy. That's how we kind of light up most of the year. Barrios did play a lot, playing in Leven Verde. Leven Verde got injured. Barrios would come in. Someone else would get injured. Barrios would come in. Barrios was just a great piece, and now we have a good starter in the back. We're actually going to have Leven Verde be the sub for the defense. Fans player of the season, Paul Kinlan. Young player of the season, Fabian Cepeda. He was actually hurt. We couldn't play him in the final for the Europa Conference League, which was unfortunate. Sign of the season, Paul Kinlan. Goal of the season, we saw that without a goalie. Top goal scorer, Joe Bell with 45 combined goals. Paul Kinlan with 20 combined assists. Most player of the matches, Paul Kinlan with 13. Highest average rating, Paul Kinlan with 7.8. And Lucas Salvatore had the most there. The competition awards, best Welsh player of the year, Joe Bell. The UEFA, word's hard. UEFA Europa Conference League player of the season. Wow, that's a tongue twister there. Player of the season, Joe Bell. And then the Conference League Golden Boot goes to Joe Bell as well. Most overall goals by a player in the season, Joe Bell has the record with 45 now. Most assists by a player in the season, Paul Kinlan has 20, the record now. Most shutouts by a player in the season, Yolson had 24 shutouts. He has the record. And the highest transfer fee paid, Joe Bell with 83.87 million. That led us to an actual European victory. Once Wrexham got rolling early in the season, they never looked back. Wrexham will everything do a fantastic start to the season. 2 trophies. We had a double. No one really looks at this. I do like it at the end of everything. So, with our finances, 53 million in the transfer budget. It's likely going to skyrocket. I know that we're 82 million in debt. We're okay. We have a lot of players we're going to sell, and let's get into that. So, you might be saying, okay, where's the guys that are going to be playing out here? So, what we have is Yulson will be in goal. Salvatore on the left, Diago on the right, or on the middle. Leven Verde is going to be, let's worry about the bench later. We're going to bring in a man that's going to play some defense for us. And it's going to be Dion Bosma. We brought in on a free from AZ from the Netherlands, from the Eredivisie. 6.99, did have some good assists, 1 player in the match. Had a 7.02. I mean, he's consistent as 7 players, around 7.0 wise. Comes in, good tackling, good anticipation, aggressive, concentration, determination is good, leadership's good, positioning, work rate. The man has great physicals as well. He's a leader personality. The man's going to come through. He's adaptable. I mean, since he's coming in on a free, yes, he's injury prone, but he's in on a free. Doesn't like big matches, but he's consistent. So we'll kind of see how that is. If he gets injured, though, Levin Verde is going to come in. No big deal with that. Gabriel Barajas is also going to be one guy that's on the bench for us, and he's going to be coming in here and there for this. This is one of our guys that we're going to be seeing what he can do, but he's also going to be playing at the under 21s a good amount. The man is 6'4". Flink Blaze going to come in. He's going to be the reserve guy up top. Maybe we sell Caputo, maybe we don't, but this is the man that's going to take over for the position that Knowles was coming in. Good agility, likes big message, consistent. We just need to get his ability to play up, and I think he is going to be a great star coming in from PSG on a free. So that's a good one there. Dean's coming in on a free. Ross was only 6 million. All the guys are going out. Roger Jones is going to go Rangers for 1.14, and then a 50% or 40% future buy clause. There's there. Vanderson's going to go out for 5 million. Nottingham Forest, he's going to be angry. I did make him a promise, but Vanderson's not in our plans, so he's going to be out as well. So that's going to cover that Gabriel Barajas buy there. Now, Arda Goulier, he is 30. Brighton sniffing around. I would not mind actually selling him there. He is very consistent. But the thing is, if we can get 70 million for this man, he is exploring his options. Next season, if we get 70 million for this man, that would be an insane amount we can get for him. And it could be a good bit there. Going through the tactics here. Akia Kai is going to be playing in the middle. He's going to be starting here. Catalina will be the deep line playmaker. We might make a couple of changes with that because I don't think Akia Kai is up for the starting position. But we'll kind of see. I do think he's ready to play some good bit of football, though. Kinlan up top with Bell and Leao. Leao is not going anywhere. He's here for another year. We'll see what he can do. And if he retires, Kinlan's great. Bell's great. We'll see how that goes. Cepeda will be the man that comes in for Leao at the end of the day. Yes, he's injured now, but the man has good physicals, and he's a good Premier League player. He's playing pretty well for us. Caputo, just attacking. I mean, if someone comes in for a buy, I'm not opposed to selling them. But at this point, we're not looking to move on from him. Caputo is a good player here. Justin Lejos, midfield youngster. I think we can have him prove significantly in here. He's ready for some Premier League football at this point. Kulishevsky, I think we're going to regulate him to the bench, but he's going to be playing more often than not. And we'll kind of see what he does with us. He's our first sub. He's going to be playing out wide. Mehul Salinas, I think it's time that he gets a good bit of time. He does count towards minimum squad requirements, so that is nice. He is homegrown at the club, so we're going to see him get some starts here and there. Levin Verde is on the bench. That's fine. He's going to be the first sub in the back that always gets subbed in a game. He's going to have a lot of games, so we're not worried about that. Shane Ritchie becomes a sub in the back. We just need an English body to just be here for registration. He's not making a lot of money in the first place. We brought him in on a free. Not really any deal. Kazmarek is the backup goalkeeper. We're going to get him some more time this season, and we're going to see what he can do. Mario Sergio is kind of the first guy we're going to get some time, but he's going to be playing at the under 21s. Anderson's going to be out. Probega, we're not going to re-sign him. Goulier, kind of heard about that. Declan Knowles is gone, so I'm going to put him down at the under 21s. Same thing with Barrios. He's going to the under 21s. We'll see what Reynolds has. Marissa, all these guys are likely going to be dealt besides maybe Perez. No, Perez is going to be dealt as well. Khalid might be actually sent out on another loan, and Diana might actually be sold. We'll see. Bowling might actually be sold. We might just slim the roster a little bit Gonna see what we're going with. So that's the idea right now. We have the guy here, we have our substitute here, and we have our other defender. So we have both our sub defender and this. So we're good there. If we can upgrade from those, we'll kind of do it. So yeah, we'll see what we can get. Let's go a day and see if anyone is bid on that is one of our players. Here it is. We have qualified for the Europa Champions League by securing a top 5 position in the Premier League. So we're back in the Champions League. And Probega is thinking about his future, but I mean, we're not re-signing him this summer, so I don't know what the issue is. So our new deals are in here. So our Continental Competition sponsor, we got a new deal 1.8. Previous deal is 1.9, so that kind of goes down. We got 2 new deals, 2.8 million per year. Our sponsorship goes up 48.26. Corporate hospitality went up a little bit. This is kind of what you see here, but it means we have a little bit more we got from this. The other sponsorship money that comes in, we did get that 50 million. Our new scouting budget, the world, nothing crazy. So we're slowly getting out of this debt, and I think eventually when we sell a couple of players, then we'll be out of the debt, and there'll be no specific issue there. So some of the guys that we're looking at right now: Adriano, 18 years old, going from what's that, Sep from Brazil. So it is Manif Claus, a deep lying playmaker type, and I think he'd just be a good 18-year-old to get him in the first team. The board wants us to sign more players for the 18 or under 21, so we're going to bring him in. The other one that we're going to bring in that is 18 as well is Nunez from ATM, another Brazilian team. Pretty much just bring him in, and we'll likely end up selling him, but again, release clause 17.5. He's a wonder kid. We'll likely sell him at the end of that. We just need a player to kind of fulfill that role. The ones that we're really bringing in here: David Mendes. So pretty good potential. Not great on the current potential, but he is likely to come on a free if that's possible. 5'10", another guy that we could play up front. And I think this could be a good attacking bit to play up top with us. That kind of makes it to where if Caputo does leave, there is that. The other one that we're looking at, well, the other two are both wing backs. Wilhelm Herrera can play on the right. We'll have to train him to play on the right because he does have a right foot. Justin Isaac, though, does have a right foot, so we could probably train him to be more on the right. He is English, so he is going to count toward registration. We kind of do need to worry about that. Resolute, versatile, consistencies up there, athleticism, and so good physicals with that. Good jumping rates. He's 6'2", good technique, work rate, aggression, concentration. I mean, this guy has it all. He's going to be our right starter, and I think that would be a good one for him. West Brom is relegated down, so we were able to get him for his relegation release clause. Wilhelm, on the other hand, will be starting on the left side, although being 5'7", he's not going to get those balls in the air, but he's fast, good stamina, good speed. His adaptability is good, so he's going to adapt well to the English game. Big matches, consistency, versatility is there. International experience, he is capped at the Brazilian team, so he is at the first team for them. I mean, I think the man can play on the outside fairly well. Decisions, determination is good, work rate. He's going to outwork anyone that's on the wing for us, and I think that would be a good thing with that. So, with that being said, what is that? I'd say there's 20 million for each. For all of those, it's about 60 million there. We do have one particularly possible sellout. Probega, we have 2 offers. He's going to go out for some to Lyon or Nice. We're not going to sell him for anything. I mean, he's 35 years old. We're lucky to get that at that point. Leo Reynolds has a $10 million bid. And then Ardo Goulier had a $60 million bid from Brighton. If he ends up going to Brighton, that's a big one there. That covers all of our budget at that point that we're selling, and then some with the 60 million. We are in business because maybe we can sell a couple more players and we can get that as well, because not everyone's back. Anderson's just being a pain right now. So, yeah. I'm feeling good what we're doing. If we can get some of those players in, we can recycle. We can worry about what we're saying. And so let's talk to a couple of these guys. So Nunez wants to be loaned back. He'd be a fringe player. I'm going to reject that. And no one else has a loan back. So Adriano here, he expects a salary just under 1 million. Nothing crazy. Breakthrough prospect. He wants to find a loan move. We want to have him homegrown at the club if he is actually good. So we're not going to send him on loan because he wouldn't have homegrown at the club. So I'm going to remove that. He'll be a French player next season. So that's good. He'll be playing under 21s to start with. He does have a second nationality of being Italian. So that's interesting. He wants a pay raise. We're going to take that off. I'm fine with these pay raises up because that ultimately makes sure that his pay raise goes up over time so he doesn't get angry, but he's not going to be getting these games in his first year in the first place. So I think this is a good one. 8.45. Remember, this is club league games, so if we end up playing him, it's likely in like a cup or maybe even in Europe. So we don't really have to worry about that. So let's finalize that. Let's get him in. Nunez, the other one. Monaco is actually, we are the same interest as Monaco. Okay. Now Nunez wants to get some opportunity to come into the first team and impress. He is a wonder kid. I think we'll give him that opportunity and we'll have him up at the first team and we'll get him in here, there. French player, I'm fine with that. Looks good. We're going to take out that yearly salary raise. Actually, I'm going to take out also these. I'm going to give him a little bit more money up front here. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to take that out. We'll give him like, he doesn't. We'll talk to you in a week. Okay, Isaac here. We're not going to play him as a preferred role. We'll give him a squad player. He's likely going to be the one that starts in the outside in the first place, so that's fine. Let's give him. Can I get him for 320 here? 3.6. About like 3.5. 3.5. He'll take it. And we need this. Liverpool has more interest. Has the same interest to Barcelona. Okay. He's going to start most ones. We're not going to give him that. He's going to start there anyway, though. 3. Squad number 3 is currently available. We'll give you that. We're the only one with a bid. You'll take regular starter, then important player next year. That is actually good for us. Let's take that. I'm fine with this. We're going to give more money here to the payroll. Let's not give him that yearly salary raise. And can we get him for, say, like, on here? 0.7. Can I get you 6.5? 6.5 it is. Good bit there. Let's see if Yulson. Speak to him. He's extremely interested in moving, so if we can get him in, I mean, he's our starting left back. Or starting left back on the wing. I mean, it's all him, but Nunez, we'll be back to talk to you in a week. We have some competition. Justin Isaac, Leicester City came in for a 19.25 offer. Robega, I mean, he's definitely going to be out there. Lazio wants him on a free. That's fine. Not going to get anything. And then David Mendez, Viego comes in with an end of contract, but I think we have Champions League football. They finished in 14th. He should want to come over here. Keyword is should. Keyword is should. Trying to make it happen in my mind. It should happen. Crystal Palace wants him. We saved money. 5 million off his contract for 1 year. I mean, at this point, we could probably. I really don't want to pay this. But it does help. Is he angry with us? He's middle of the road. But he's just... let's reject it. We'll put Vanderson in there. If in the winter something comes up, I mean, we could use him. Vanderson comes... Salinas is still going to be one of the guys in here. And that's fine. That's fine. Garcia? Pablo Garcia looks like he's going to... Actually, that's our coach. I got excited for... Okay. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. I got so excited over because I thought Garcia was one of the players. That's unfortunate. Okay, Zidane goes to Arsenal as a coach. Arsenal trying to get back up in the top 7. They finished 9th or so. They actually finished under Tottenham. 55 points. They didn't make any of the European spots, so it seems like Zidane's going to try to take them to back up to the top. At least they're going to try wise. All right. Looks like Adriano is waiting on a work permit decision. He has chosen to sign with us. Adriano is going to be a Wrexham player. We're going to get Leo Reynolds over to Crystal Palace. They're newly promoted. He's going to be up here at the Premier League still. So that's good for Crystal Palace. They get a piece that should help them stay up to this point. At least I'm hoping. Because I like to see Crystal Palace up here. I like to see new teams compete. And we're happy to help them. Hopefully he doesn't beat us. So we got a bid for Carlos Alberto from Aston Villa. 40 million plus a 20% clause for that in the future. I think that's a good one. We're not really using Carlos Alberto. He's kind of a reserve player, but we weren't using him. So, I mean, with that in mind, there's a couple other players, but I mean, like Wall wants to start most of the games, and I don't think that is a good bit of cash to kind of spend. We do likely need another midfielder, and so I don't know what we're going to do about that. I did have one guy that was intriguing that could be when it comes to everything. The window is starting. Looking to improve the team. Joe Bell is not going to Arsenal. John Melendez is linked with us. I think we have something better. Iron Jar might be the guy that we pull in. Is it 84 million? And if we pay 84 million from him, Ikea Kai isn't starting. And am I actually against that? I mean, the reality is, I would not be opposed to that. He becomes our super sub in the middle in the first place. He's still going to play a lot of games. But those fine, I mean, we could pull the trigger. Let's see what we can do for him. I think that would be a good player to come in. I just don't want to give him 84 million. I don't want to sell him. You take more? Less? 84 million. What do we do with this? Is there any other players that you really want? Player exchange? There's some other squad. There's no one that there's no one that they're likely going to take. Is there... Looking for a striker, a left back, and a central defender. Now that could be interesting because we could send one of our defenders over to him. Maybe we send... I don't think Richie is worth all that much. Ooh, 12 to 14. This could lessen the impact. Say we did this and we gave you 25 million, and in insane installments we gave you another, I don't know, 20 million here. Would you accept this? 15 million each year. 15 million. I mean, I think we take this. That is I don't know how we swindled that. If we just swindled that, that is a midfielder that is dominant in the middle. Wow. And what is he, one of the best players in Europe at the position? He did accept it. He becomes an important player. I'm not going to give him this. We'll make him a star player, though, just as a reason for him to come play with us. He likes it, probably more. With this, we're going to give him... I'm not going to give him this, but I'm going to give him a bit more money. Though, I'm going to give him an extra $1 million for a 4-year deal. He's going to be close to 10. We're going to see if we can actually get him in. Wadri Jones is now out. Transfer deal that actually helps. Reynolds is out. He doesn't like that. I mean, the board doesn't like that, but we're making some plays for some big time players. I do like Arda, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to get better. And that's fine. Richie rejects it. Richie, okay, what do you want for this? Actually, you'll let me keep Richie. Okay, I'll give you the same thing, and we'll keep Richie. Okay. We'll give him the same deal. Star player, I wish it would just save what I had. There it is. We're going to take this out. We're going to give him an extra 9.6. There we go. It's in there. I like Arda scoring a goal at the international stage. If he leaves, we'll be good. Oh, God, that's some big stuff. We'll see if this actually works. So Justin Isaacs is going to sign with us. Coming over from West Bromwich Albion, who is relegated down to the championship. One signing down. That's a good one. He's going to flip over, I think, on the right side. He's going to be one of our wing backs starting. Benderson's going to be one of the subs that can play either or. I'm fine. If someone comes with a bid between now and the winter, we'll do that, but we brought him in because he's English. He has good bit of playing, so I think bringing him in is a good bit. Justin Isaacs is going to learn the wing back on support for him on the right side. So David Mendez from Real Madrid is going to actually pick to come here. I mean, it's not the greatest signing, but it's a free. So there's that. Probega is going to go to the Lazio for a future deal. We have William Mahira. He's going to come in to Wrexham. That's going to be a good one. Hopefully our scouts didn't screw that up. We might do a whole scout revamp if that's completely screwed up. Probega is going to be out here. We can't really give him anything there. We'll move him down to under 21 because, well, he's out. He's moving along on a free. It's all good. Even though we paid $15 million, we got a good 2 years out of him before he ended up leaving on a free. 35, 36 years old. We're not going to get much money from him. He's at the tail end of his career. So we're going to let him go into the sunshine, kind of pick whatever team he wants. I don't think we made that up in merchandise, but I think ultimately it's pretty close. Here it is. We're going to bring in William here. Arda is going to go over to Brighton. So that's a massive bit of money. We're going to get 67 million of that. Arda, you've been a great servant. You're going to go start and be an amazing player there for those guys. Adriano, I think he's actually this good. We're going to bring him in. 15 million. I think he's that good. The real idea, though, is the guy coming on free from... Well, it is a free transfer from Real Madrid. So at the end of the day, we can always sell him for profit. So it's always a good bit. Let's have Yolson welcoming in. He is a good player right off the bat. Scout's little iffy on him being a 4.5 or a 4, and I'm fine with him being a 4.5 at that point. We're going to play him on the left side. So Wilhelm, welcome to Wrexham. We're just going to have him play as a wingback. Isaac's going to play as a wingback, and we are pretty much set when it comes to playing outside. I'm fine with that. Pretty good one. Maybe we send Gus out for one. He is injury prone. He's a potential Premier League standard. Maybe we do. Maybe send him out on loan. Let's send Gus out on loan here. Let's see if we can get him to be a regular starter somewhere. If it ends up being like one of our affiliates, that's fine. But now it's up to Carlos Alberto. He is going to leave because, well, all the Carlos Alberto, what he wants to do. Adriano, being the center back that he is, he's going to be the under 21s, breakthrough prospect. We'll see how he ends up growing. I think he is going to be a big part of us in the future. Let's welcome to the club and give him a bit of welcoming and some language lessons. Arda being flipped at 30 years old is a very, very good sell. I don't think we got particularly a whole hell of a lot better, but I think we have a platform in which we can do something. Now, I'm not particularly centered around the fact that we have to figure out this wingback issue this season. I think we could put in some guys that can play the position, that could give us a good impact at the position, but it doesn't necessarily mean we have to solve the position. I think us solving the position right now in the middle of the field is likely more important, and I think we have that with a good bit with the guy coming in from Iceland, if we end up bringing him in. And Giblin going out, having good loan. I mean, some of these are pretty good. League One. Squad player at the championship. I mean, can we, if he's going to be a squad player at the championship, can we get him we get them to, they'll accept that. Now, do I want him? I mean, we're talking about maybe training facilities are great. What are they at Swansea? He is probably better to play at Swansea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cancel the rest of these. If one of these was like an affiliate, I think we'd send like him to an affiliate. But since we did have one there, we're going to send him to Swansea City at that. So it's a good bit there. We're going to go there. So we did rake in at 210 transfer fees this season. That's likely because of all the sales. Well, there's no likelihood. It's because of all the sales that we've done. Port Vale wants him as an important player. Port Vale, is it League One? I'm going to say no to that. Place Arda as captain. I mean, it has to be Joe Bell, right? It has to be Joe Bell. We're going to take this. It's not a big thing. We'll just click all the way through. I don't really worry about press conferences at this point. So the issue we could have is Isaacs is a placeholder. If we can get Anderson out, Isaacs is a placeholder that he could really play out here. But Vanderson's not getting like anything in particular for that. Vallejos could go down to the under 21s, but I think he has his eligibility here at the club, so he could actually have something to offer there in the future, just not right now. Kiakai is just going to get only better. I like him. It's a good bit, and we're not going anywhere with Kenley. Kenley's not going anywhere. I mean, maybe a change at the back, but I think we're going to be pretty much fine at this point. With that win last year, we moved up to 67th in Europe, so 33 spots. Here's the coefficient with that. We clinched one here. Spain got one for Bilbao, so they get an extra Champions League spot. Homegrown players at the club, this is going to be something that's going to be difficult to likely fulfill for us. Maybe let's take a look at that from the start here. So I think it's under squad. Here we go. We're looking at registration. Do we have enough that's in? We'll have to see when we tick over to the new year. I'm not sure we're going to be there, but I think we might have just enough. We might have to get a couple players in on loan, and that's fine, but we will not be going with youngsters in that. Unless it's like a couple of youngsters. All right, he's here. Einjar Jarson. Probably mispronouncing that. He is here. We have ourselves a player in his prime that's going to sit next to Canalita. I mean, this is a amazing hit. Now, the idea with this is, while his passing is probably better than Canalita's, I think we move Canalita over to the Segundo Volante, maybe. Because I think he's a better deep line playmaker. than he is. I want to say, possibly. So I think we have Canalita come up. Bjornsson doesn't have like these long range passes, dictates tempo, tries killer balls. And Canalita just looks for the pass rather than attempting to score, which is fine from a Segundo Volante standpoint. So I think Canalita playing here, playing up and down the field, he has good pace, good stamina, good acceleration, agility, anticipation, his composure. His decision is he's going to work better up in the box. I'm fine with that. So, Bjornsson, welcome to Wrexham. The man is going to be an absolute beast. I am happy we've got him in. So we're going to play him as deep line playmaker on defend. We're going to get his, say at this point, let's get his passing all the way up. What is it? Ball control once. And his first touch is still pretty good. His dribbling isn't the greatest. His technique is pretty good, which is why I'd rather have him as a deep line playmaker and Canalita as the Segundo Volante. So that's a good bit of a buy. Our finances right now are not great. We're still trying to sell Carlos Alberto. He is being very angry. We're trying to get him to Wolves. We're trying to get this 40 million. We're trying to send him out here. Vanderson, I think he is going to be gone as well, although we're going to have to pay half of his salary. That's fine. That'll reduce our wages. Once some of these guys get back as well, like we're going to send out Rasa. Either he is going to be sold or he is going to go back out on loan. Bowling's going to be either sold or go out on loan. I think he's going to likely go out on loan again. Edward Deanna is likely going to be sold if we can do that. Rodrigo Perez will likely be sold. And Slay Khalid will likely be put on loan again. I think one more year of him being out on loan would be good. Probably at the Skybet Championship portion. We'll see what he can do, but this should be a good one for him. We're going to keep Mario Sergio here at the time because his eligibility is actually going to be good for us. So there's that. We're still waiting on a couple of other players to come in, and they don't come in until the 30th. So good bit of buying so far. I think we've made the team better, and that is the key, making the team better. All right, the Premier Division signings of the season. We have two of them. Paul Kinlan is up at the top. Good transfer fee, $53 million. He had 32 appearances, 20 goals, and 10 assists. It was good. Joe Bell, 17 goals, 12 assists in the league, 35 appearances. It was great. So what that tends to look at is this is what we've had at least with, let's actually get the players, not the club. So all of the players staying here, Rafael Leao has 20 goals and 17 assists. That's great. Cepeda has 19 and 15. Julian Caputo has 15 and 6. I mean, this is a good bit from our top 5. And I'm liking that. We're adding some youngsters onto this, but also Pearson, I think he is going to have us command a bit more of the midfield, which is what we need in the Champions League. Because yes, we're in the Champions League. We're going to tick over, and then we are in the new year with this. We're also going to look at our affiliates at this point. Once we tick over on the 25th, and I'll kind of show you where they are, because I believe York got relegated last season. So they're back in the Vanarama National League. Hopefully they can get back up into the Football League. But yeah, they might need a little help. But they're spending a lot of money, so there's that. We're hoping one of them can get up to maybe League 2, League 3, something like that. But we also have our expectations. So reach the league table. This is minimum. We'll say league table. We're already in the league table. So let's play it safe. Top half finish. Reached the wow. It's Desire. Reached the quarterfinal and let's say third round minimum. We don't really need more budget than this. I think we're actually going to lower some of it in the first place. So here's where we got to think about squad selections, especially the Champions League, because I am not sure how we're going to be looking when it comes to this. So registration, Champions League is here. So Levin Verde is in here. Kinlan is here. Isaac gives us homegrown to the nation. Richie gives us that. And that's all that we have. We need 3 players that are homegrown at the club. That is... They're not until next year. So with that in mind, we're going to have to go with... It's unfortunate. We're slowly getting them up. We just don't have... Edwards is going to have to stay here. Wilson's homegrown at the nation. Charlie Smith is going to be out. I'll have to put Neil Williams. This is a bit unfortunate. Maybe Dodd. Maybe this. And then do we have one more English player up here to take that spot? I might bring in another English player on loan. What does that mean for everyone else? Kolishevsky's here, Liao is here, Sotori, Aaron Kalita, Bell, Caputo. We're not going to register Carlos Alberto, Cepeda, Gilson, Thiago, Salinas. Who still has to come in? Blaze is French. We still need Bosma to come in. Are any of these guys English? I don't think they are. I don't think we got lucky with that. No, they are not. Which means we need to look for a guy that can come in on loan. It's English. So we're going to bring in on loan Gabriel Martinelli, and we should be able to actually hit this train in England, and we'll be fine. So we're good. It's okay. We figured it out. There's still going to be some more sales because once these loan ends, we're going to put some people out on loan. We're going to sell a couple more people, and we should have our 26 ready and finalized for the next season. So we'll come back and we'll kind of explain all of that. So we brought in our 3 signings: Frank Blaze, David Mendez, and Don Osma. So some pretty good stuff. The assistant reports are not the greatest, but I think we have some good personalities here that can do some work. David Mendez is just a guy we can bring in and later sell because we did bring him out of free transfer. And Frank Blaze, I think he is going to grow into a great player in front that will later be sold. So some good stuff with these guys. I mean, at the end of the day, we just need some good players to come through and give us some good stuff. It's an all an extensive language out there. And let's keep going. Of course, we need to see, though, who is going to be released. I think at this point we have all of these. So Bosma's going to be here. Mendez. I do need to get this so those spots show. Where does Blaze is going to go up here? Mendez is a striker that could. He can't really play defense. Neither can Kulishevsky. Vallejos could. Can Vallejos play outside though? We could train him to play outside. He could actually play outside more than likely. I'm gonna train him to play outside. Then the other one we're gonna do, we need to move up. Who was it? Mendez? Mendez needs to learn how to play. I think Mendez learns how to play up top. So that's the good bit there. Whoever to put here is the question, and I think it ends up being late. So everyone else below this is going to be so. We are waiting. Are we waiting for someone right now? Are we playing Vanderson out there? There's no way we're playing Vanderson out there, is there? We're playing Isaac. We're playing Isaac here. So let's get Vanderson in. I think we're just going to eat Vanderson's contract at this point. I mean, it served its purpose. I just don't see it with the fact that he's going to go anywhere. So we'll get him in there. This is going to be a bit. Carlos Alberto is still not leaving, which kind of does suck there. But we're going to get a couple of these guys and sell them. They need to be sold. We do have one guy coming in. He'll likely take the spots of Mario Sergio in the first place. But we'll kind of see how that goes. And we should be... Let's look at how we set up for the Champions League. So, Levin Faraday is out here. Isaac's good. Richie. And then we have to dig into the under 21s, which we pull in Wilson. Cullen Edwards. So we can't send Cullen Edwards anyway. Eric Dodd can't go anywhere. And Lee Jenkins. So Bowling, Edwards, and Gray. Mostly Bowling can leave. In which we're going to actually sell him. Okay, Bowling's out. And then we're going to bring in someone on loan. So Bowling is out. Edward Deanna, can I get for Eduardo Deanna? Could I get 30 million for him? Let's see. And Rodrigo Perez, could I actually get? No, there's no. There was no way in hell. Let's just see what someone would pay, but I don't know who's going to play that much money Cork City, when is this loan actually done? This loan is done winter. So we could see some changes at winter. But I'm not really sure. We do need one loan. So that's going to probably end it for us. That means we have what is generally our roster set up at this point. We might make a couple of moves between here and the deadline, or at least between here and preseason wise. So that's going to be it for this. So thanks for hanging out. We are going to get Martinelli on loan as well, because we need another English player, and I think getting him on loan is not like a harsh bit of money against our salary. Again, we've raised it a little bit more than we're likely going to push 200 million. I think we're fine though. Financially, we'll be moving into our next stadium. We're likely going to get a profit loss of a lot of money this year, but ultimately we may look to move on for a couple of players. We'll kind of see how that goes, but I think we are okay if we have Champions League and we kind of just sell a couple of players and recycle some guys that we have. So thanks for hanging out. Go and leave a like below, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Later.